Hi guys, this is Justin with Ready Business Systems. I just wanted to go over some of the less talked about things in contracts. There is a training video here that tells you how to set these up, but there's some things that they don't go over in this video that I just want to make sure that I highlight in here. So basically, these contracts are found in here, add a contract, add a contract. In my test account here, I already created a contract for an example. So here the contract name, essentials package. I'm not going to go over these details, contract and end date. This little month year trick here that will pre-populate the month and the year. But basically where I'll start is that by default this invoice is going to be created each month here according to this schedule, and this is all it's going to print on the invoice. All they're going to see it was done. So if you mowed the lawn or you fertilized or whatever, they can't see those services line items. So the way you do that is you go into your settings, invoice formats, and this checkbox here, print line items on invoice. That'll make it so it will print not only this essentials package month year, but it'll also print the services that were done underneath it. So that's a question that I've been asked. Here, I want to highlight that this invoicing schedule overrides any of your services. So anything that you have listed as you're running services, it may be mowing, $25 a week. You know, they get mowed 3 times, 4 times. Anything you have in these boxes here completely overrides the normal billing. So therefore, it is absolutely essential that these numbers are correct, because otherwise your customers will not get billed properly. The other thing I want to highlight is that this billing day of the month, number 1, or whatever you have here, it only creates these invoices on those dates. So I found out the hard way, but if you set up this contract on January 2nd, they will not get a January invoice. Even if this is set to auto-generate, you have to do that manually, which I'll show you after. But that's definitely very important to make sure that if you start the contract after this day of whatever month you set it up, you have to manually create the contract. Down here, this is the list of services. The other thing they don't mention in the video is that this billing over, alert over hours, invoice overage, if hours over. So our contracts have a certain number of hours included in each package, and we're supposed to bill them over that number of hours. This does not work. I was told it only works for plowing services, but basically I don't trust it, and you have to manually keep track of the hours. I run the dispatch board to see the total number of hours filtered by client and service, and have to create to-dos to show to yourself. It sucks, but it's the way it is right now, and it does not invoice over, so you cannot count on that. So what I do is we create the invoice, and right here is where you add the contract, obviously, like I said in the video. So it will bill according to whatever service you have here. So, you know, the fall cleanup, say this is $1,000. It's not going to bill this. It's going to bill it if you put it as part of this contract. It's going to bill whatever the contract says. It will ignore this number. So that's important. So basically what we do is when our hours are going over, we go in, we remove it from the contract, and we save it, and that way every service completed there forward will then be billed according to whatever your service says. So back to the other thing, that big problem about creating invoices. So accounting contracts. This test client, that's that contract. So basically what you have to do, if you create this invoice on, February 2nd, you want to invoice for February, what you have to do is you have to go into the screen, put the invoice as February 1st, and you have to do actions, create invoices. And then only then will that bill this test client for that contract month. So just to be clear, that's also very important, and they don't talk about that or discuss that in the video. So just to summarize, the biggest things are making sure these numbers are right, just knowing that you have to manually generate invoices if you're past this day of the month, how to add the contract line items. I would pretty much always keep this box checked off. I don't know why you ever wouldn't want to show that. And lastly, the billing overages. We learned all this the hard way, and it costs us a lot of money, so I don't want you guys to have the same mistakes. So anyway, that's the summary of the contract stuff that Service Autopilot does not talk about.